Hello, good afternoon, good day. Welcome to the stream. Today we are going to work on multi-tenant cluster settings. So there is an issue here which is really a tracking issue, and there is a particular sub-issue which we are looking at here. So what we are going to do is really a follow-up to work that has been done by Adam. And so what we are going to do is add implementations for the new statements that Adam has added a little while ago. So all this is actually stemming from an RFC that was written a month or two ago. I don't remember exactly, which you can find by navigating to somewhere here. There's something about multi-tenant cluster settings. Here we are. So that's the work we're doing. We're working on this RFC, which explains how the new cluster settings are doing, and so we have some new statements in SQL. We have the syntax support added by Adam, and now we are going to store their values in the appropriate system table. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so we need a new branch. How will this work? So there is a file tenant settings here with a statement here which is not yet fully implemented, and this is the code here that we want to modify. Then we have the show tenant class setting to show the current value of the setting. And so next to this, we have a couple of files, set and show class setting, regular class setting, and that's where we have logic already that we can basically follow. So we are going to continue working this area by doing basically similar things that were done before. So what we're doing here is that results, the expression that provides the tenant ID. And then we have look at the target. Okay. Then we check the privileges. Then we have some check authorization, which is really what we're seeing here. So let's see what it says. Auto tenant can only be called by system operators. Yes, I guess. I don't understand what this is doing here. Let me... Come on. Okay, so we have here a lookup function, I suppose. And then we have non-masked setting. Can we capture all this logic in a common function? Not really, right? Oh, that's not the right error code, I think. What kind of error message do we want here? Invalid argument. I want invalid argument. Invalid parameter value. It's really insufficient privilege. Invalid argument. Invalid. I think it's invalid. Syntax error or access rule violation. Insufficient privilege. Yeah, this is definitely class 42, but do we have a better? Duplicate, ambiguous, invalid. 42. Invalid. Sufficient privilege looks like it. But it's not insufficient privilege. We're going to make this a our access violation. Alright. This name is a name. Like this. Right. And then we're going to have a errors and like this. System only setting. Okay. And access like this. All right. Okay, set class settings, and we have this error here. Then we have override informer. Override informer is overridden. Okay, I suppose. Get and validate typed class setting. What is this? I guess. That's what we have here. All right. Value is nil. Then we have the node. And then we can execute this. Okay, that's great. Let's continue. That is not going to be an issue, is it? That class setting cannot be used inside the transaction. Can it not? Yeah, I think it can actually. Okay. Then we have the first value. Let's read a bit this code to understand what it does. All right, so we have the expected encoded value or reported value. So if the value that we're storing, that's a default. Then we do reset setting. Then it's deleted. All right. Otherwise, setting non-value. Then we evaluate the value. Then the reported value is values being set. Okay. Then we have retrace first value is okay. There is a SQL migration which adds this value. It hasn't run yet. We cannot update the version as we have not. Good. Where name is this? Okay, let's look a bit at what starts if we create a new server. Watch button. Why is permission denied? Oh, yep. Okay, so is set version. Oh, okay. If set version, I see we have a special case here. All right. In the special case of the version cluster setting, we must first read the previous value. To validate that the value change is valid. Okay. Then we have isSet version. Then we have a toSetting string. Previous value. Why do we need the previous version here? Because it's a version. I see. Okay. And then if set version. Okay. Then we have a log event here. So we're going to break down the existing function into multiple sub-functions because I think that that it's going to be much more readable this way, and this way we can reuse the code a bit more. All right, so we're going actually to bring all these sticks and into a separate function. Then we had an execx here. So all this needs to be one transaction. And then we have here something related to the version setting here. Doesn't have a well-defined default. Setting updated but timed out, waiting to read new value. Retry. And then a warning and an error. Okay. Okay. Retry for duration. Warning. Setting value. Setting, okay. Wait for setting update. And value is version setting, and end value is nil. Okay. And up name. Okay. And we're going to have expected encoded value. Okay. Let's not make this. Let's just make a wait. And then we are going to have sex he or she. Okay. Then we're going to have setting, reset bool name string expected encoded value is a string, I guess. Error. Then we're going to have setting execg setting and reset ctx name observed, and off we go, I guess. So what is setting? Non-mask setting. Access. Okay. I think that is fine. Let's verify this. Why is this taking so much time? I don't fully understand yet. My head is cold, that's why I need to cover up. It's not exactly spring just yet. I'll be fine. Alright, so this did not fail to compile, so we are okay. This expected encoded value here. Is expected encoded value. Where's expected encoded value here? So we don't need this. So we have if set version is here. Encoded. Oh, we need encoded, don't we? Where is encoded? Yeah, it's set version. We need the encoded value. Oh, but that's an else. And we have is set version. And encoded is here. So we don't need encoded. Ah, interesting. So we are going to update. We're going to try and merge those things. So we have if set version. Prev is here. So value is prev, expected encoded value. Encoded. Of that version, system setting is a closure. And then we have an update hook. Who is the prev? The value. Run version upgrade hook. Let's see. And then must pass version. Packet version. From 2. Oops. So it doesn't look like this code here is needed. So I can maybe have if version. And then if not, is set version. Then we take this and we bring it here. And then we can this. Then we have encoded. And then we have knobs. And then a class setting updater. Then their previous value. Set version. Prev. Then we have a 2 setting string encoded. Then there is a separate version setting. Let's try to commit those bits, things bit by bit. Like this. We're going to leave that alone. Then we're going to bring this into a separate function like this. Split the setting await code in a separate function. Also add comments. So it's going to be like this. All right, so what we're trying to do right now is try to combine the code that sets the version setting into a separate function, because I think that deserves separate logic. So then we have this reset setting. Then we're going to have some telemetry. Maybe we'll see about that in a moment. Let's see where this cluster setting updater is being used. Oh, settings with an S. st.make updater. Oh, it's okay. Server test server settings updater. Allow setting cluster settings is a make updater. Allow setting cluster settings. Okay. ST not, where is that? Settings, cluster, settings, make updater. Returns a new updater pre-allocated to the registry size. No up updated. A new updater, okay. What's an updater? I have no idea, but we'll assume that it's meaningful. Cluster settings updater. Allow setting cluster settings. Okay. 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 Disk consumption. This is a test. Okay, so lexical running, let's then wait for consumption. I don't see where this is using classes settings, but whatever. It's also not using classes settings. Alright, so I might not care about that. Okay. Come on. Okay. Test tenant report. Start tenant. Setup cluster. This is setting class settings, that's great. But it's not setting the version class settings, that's great. So I think we are going to be fine. Maybe the logic test. PKG, SQL test utils, telemetry. Let's try that. Oh. All right. Start, prepare cluster. Yeah, not version. All right. Okay, so we have the cluster version thing happening. Okay, so actually logic test uses settings, so I can't really... We can't remove this logic here. This is actually going to be important no matter what. So we have to use the encoded thing here. And then we have the env. Okay. I want to understand. Come on. I want to understand what toSetting string does. Can I block this? Why does this need... Why does this need the previous value? So I see it here. And then we have a validate here. Oh, actually, toSetting stream doesn't really need, say, C encoding. Okay, interesting. So we want a string. Then we have the bytes. And say previous value. Where's prev? Where's prev? Where's prev being used? My gosh, I don't see prev being used. Is prev actually being used anywhere? I see prev roval is... Oh, it's here. Here you go. Yeah, so let's see what this says. Come on, settings. What is imp? Oh, I need cluster version. It's here. So validate. What do I have here? Nil. New CV's version. And then I have proto-util Marshall. New CV. New row proto. Row proto. New CV. Where's new row proto? And Marshall. I see new CV. New CV. Version. Well, it's already there, right? All right. Oh, I see. Maybe. We also encode that this is class setting, validate. Version setting, imp. Okay. Then there is a validate here going on here. Okay. We're going to have an error like this. Like this. Validate version upgrade. Version upgrade like this. Let's try to build that. Like this. Validate. Okay, so I actually have an error. Like this. Yep. in cluster version. This. Okay, so set cluster setting. Here we have string. Here we have this validate function. Like this. Where's the new bytes? New bytes. That's a new. Like this. Then we bring this like this. And then we are going to do the check manually. Here. Here. Yeah, so we don't need prev here. So that's really what I wanted to get to. Okay, that's great. And that means that we can bring this entire code above the set version, validate the input and convert it to the binary encoding. Like this. At least. Where's the expected encoded value? That's here. All right. Good. Now here we can validate the previous value. Okay, we have prev here. So here we are going to have this. If len of datum here. Validates that the upgrade to this version is valid. It's a new version. Okay. Like this. Then I have setting st.validate. So what is st? We need the setting object. access. What is st? Where is st? And .st. Okay. And then we are going to do byte of encoded access. And that is going to be like this. Okay. Then we have a version of Great Hook. And then we have an else here. Okay. Do we need prev at all? I don't think so, do we? I think this can be brought under here. Like this. And that is end.setting.validate. Okay. Let's try to build this. What did it say? Oh. All right. I think this works. Okay. Bump role related table versions of also nodes to clear out their auth info cache. If expected encoded value is false. Cache enable setting name. Okay, then we have some telemetry. Which setting update. All right. Then we have this entire is set version. With an else. Search into the settings. And then all this can be done. Why is it not done in? Why can it not be done in the transaction? I don't know. Can be done with the same transaction. So why is there another transaction dying on here? I don't know. we're not going to... So we are actually old row value, raw value. Only if just change auto settings. So that's because we don't want to notify all the nodes if we're setting the settings, change the setting to a same value, because that would create a storm of notifications. Okay, so let's move. So let's commit this. This disentangle control flow all the code related to the becomes contiguous. Okay. No persistent class or version. Okay. What is a binary encoding? Okay, so we're going to move this code into a separate function. Reset right default setting value. Then takes n and a setting mail. Okay. And we're going to move that here. Access. Set to x CFG and name and transaction. Access. Then we okay. So we're going to have string. this. And then we have this. And then we have this. This, and this. Okay. Set class settings. Come on. I think that's fine, right? What's telling me? Oh, close parentheses here. All right. Cannot assign error to error. Oh yeah. Like this. Cool. Interesting. Let me try this. Cannot reset class setting. Where is that being checked? Maybe here. I mean, only cannot reset. Where is that being set? Is there only here? It's here. Is get and validate typed class setting. Okay. Very good. We are good. So that's going to be the setting. Then we have this. Then the name. And then we work it. It's a kv.xn, sorry. kv.xn. Okay. And now here, we're going to do it the other way around. Alright, so here we're going to do func write non default value. Then we have all these things here. Then we're going to have the same. And then we will have this code. And then we'll have the expected encoded value, which is going to be all this code here until here, right? Yes. So this goes here. This. 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 And we're going to have this. This. And this. This. And this, This is a closure, so we don't care about that. And what is this? And this name settings. Then we have exec-cfg like this. And this like this. Run version upgrade hook. Why do I have run params here? I only need the user. Okay. Like this. Like this. Okay. Then we'll have name and setting. Then we'll have the user. Okay. Access. Then we'll have the user here. Then we'll have the version upgrade hook. Why is that? Call after validating instead version, but before executing it. Carry. Okay. It's only used here. So we can remove that. We can remove this. Then we have the version. Version upgrade hook. Where's version upgrade hook? Okay. Then we have the ST. What is ST? ST is class settings. Okay. ST is ST, and ST is we have our context of settings. I suppose. ST cluster settings. And we have this. So we need the user and ST. Okay. Like this. Now let's try to build this. So we are going to evaluate this. So it's going to be tree.datum. Then we're going to evaluate that here. Like this. Cool. Then we have st name setting, extended eval codec for system tenant. Okay. Like this. Like this. This again. Name. And then return nil. Like this. Okay. Okay, that seems to build. And now what we're going to do. So we have this. Well, this telemetry here going on. And that's happening inside here. Then we have a bump user stable version. That's not happening inside the transaction, so we don't really care about the transaction for all of this here. And also not for this. Interesting. So if we don't need transaction for any of the code under this, that's this transaction here. This will have this right default setting value inside the transaction. And then we have error here. So all this doesn't need a transaction. Oh, we want... Oh, I see. We want all this transaction to be cancelled if the logging fails at the end. Yeah. I suppose. Except that the setting of the version is happening in the sub transaction. But I guess we're okay with that. Okay. Oh, but we don't want that telemetry to be part of the transaction, do we? Okay. So what do we do with this function here? Resolve write schema change inside the same transaction. Okay. like this. Yep. And then we have the reported value, expected encoded value. Where is expected encoded value being used? It's there. Okay. All right, and now we have this code here performed inside a transaction. And then we're going to have probably reported value. Ctx. Okay. Then we're going to do this. Expected encoded value error is n dot. And we bring this code into a separate function. Set cluster access, and then this is going to run an error and a expected encoded value string like this. And then we will have error is equal to this. Like this. Like this. And this is using execcfg. It's used only here. No, it's not. Yeah, it is actually. Let's do it. Let's do it. And that's going to be like this. That let's see. I may have a meeting afterwards, so I'm currently checking my schedule. Yeah, quarter two, so like we have 25 minutes still remaining. All right. All right. Then we have n-write setting internal. So that's the code that we are going to be able to reuse a bit later. Oh yeah, and then we want to split the code for the version setting into a separate function. So that is center is set version needs to go to a different function. So this code here. Set version setting. So it's going to be also the same kind of prototype. Yeah, let's copy paste code. What do we need? CTX txn name. We don't need the setting, we need the version setting. Okay. We need a transaction. Do we need the user? We don't need the user here, I guess. Where's the user being used? User is used in this function, which is run version upgrade hook. Oh, actually, so it is used here. So we need a user. Do we need st? Yes, we do. Do we need a value? I think we do. No, we do not need a value. Do we need for system tenant? For system tenant. Yes, we do need for system tenant. Alright, and what do we get as a result? We get presumably an error. Like this. And then we take this code and we bring it around here. Da-da-dum. Like this. Value, target. So we need encoded and value. Oh, we have say value here and encoded is a string. All right, and like this. Okay, let's build this. Oh yeah, I'm missing a return attendance function. All right. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up soon, but first of all, we need a little short break. It's been really nearly 1.5 hour. and it's not healthy to be in the computer for so long. So I do need to move my body a little bit, and so we'll be back. We'll be back in a few. All right, we're back, and apparently the build succeeded. So what is this run version did hook though? Oh, we are running the hook. And that's the function we're doing, and that is previously version different, and we're writing it. Okay, that really writes the value. And then we run the hook. Okay. I think we are going to be generally okay with this. Let's commit this. And then we're going to maybe document those functions a little bit, add some performs the letter write corresponding to a reset cluster setting statement or setting changing. Okay. Okay. Set version setting encapsulates the logic for the version changing. cluster setting. Okay. Is a makes c set cluster setting statement wait until the value has propagated. Is visible to the current goal session. Okay. I'm confused about this. Run version upgrade. Here. So why do I need a run version upgrade? Why do we even need to convert the value? Because we already had the value converted, right? We have the encoded value. So we have tenant prev encoded. Okay, so the previous value. Previous value. From to, and that's this. And then it says this version system setting. What is the hook that's being called? F is a version upgrade hook. What does this do? From to. Okay. Update system version setting. Run migration. All the migrations are being run before. I see. Okay, that's good. So this runs the migration before writing the setting. Do we still need this function? Not really. That's a previous value. So I think we have a validation for this already. So prev statums. Then we have a validate versus, which is going to be in setting.go in here. And that is doing a Marshall from version. And from is doing an Marshall again. And then target version is a 2 version. There's a new version. Okay. I think we can evacuate, we can remove this function. Yeah, okay. Run version upgrade hook runs migrations for the target version and then finalizes the change by calling to effectively write to the system table any value. Okay. via access, and then we are going to say migrations and upgrade version. Let's build again. It seems to work. So we're going to build 2 components. Split setting change code into fine functions. This decomposer. And documents stuff. This also paves the way to reusing the individual components for altered set cluster setting. Cool. Now we're going to create a PR with this because we want to have CI run and tell us if we made mistakes. Set cluster settings, refactors. Come on. Copy paste. Come on. Okay. Sure. Access. That's fine. That is going to be fine. And then we are going to do this. Actually, that's too much. Okay. Well, we're not completely done with this project just yet. But what we're doing here is that we are splitting what was before a very large and complex functions into many smaller functions, and we will be able to reuse some of this code in the new function. So what's happening here is that this code here, rise setting internal, we'll probably be able to reuse. And then the individual logic here we will also reuse, and hopefully it's going to be good. Let's wait for CI. So this was a good step for today. I think I don't want to make this stream a bit longer for now. Doesn't help that I actually have a chat with someone else in a second. So we're going to wrap up here for today. with this refactor. And either we're going to continue this next time, or by next time there will be already some PR that does the change that we are aiming for, and we're going to look at a different step of this process. So so that was this. Thank you for accompanying this work, and I wish you all a very pleasant and enjoying weekend. Have a great day.